Hello students, welcome you all in this video where I am solving model question paper 3 2025-26, and now in this video I am going to solve 3 marks question from part B chemistry. Already 1 marks question and 2 marks questions videos are uploaded on my channel. You can visit my channel, like my videos, share my videos with your friends, and please consider subscribing my channel if you are not yet subscribed. Let's start with the first question of 3 marks part B chemistry. So in this section, we have to solve 3 questions and each question will carry 3 marks. So total we are going to get 9 marks from this section. So here question number 22 we will start, and this question is divided into A and B sub questions. We will start with A first. Magnesium ribbon burns with a dazzling white flame in the air and changes into magnesium oxide. Mention the type of this reaction. So in this question, they have told that if you burn this magnesium ion in air, it will convert into magnesium oxide, and with that it will form a dazzling white flame. So we have to mention the type of reaction. So this is the question from chemical reactions and equation chapter, that is chapter number 1. So the answer is this reaction is a combination reaction. So what is combination reaction? Since two substances, the reaction in which two substances combine to give a single substance, a single product, then such type of reaction is called as combination reaction. And the same reaction takes place in this question. So we can see here, when magnesium ribbon burns in air, it combines with oxygen gas which is present in the air and forms magnesium oxide. So what is the chemical equation? We can write Mg plus oxygen, that is O2, it gives MgO, magnesium oxide. So you can see here, this is the site where we have reactant. You can see this is the side where we have reactant and this is the side where we have product. So if we see this equation, reactants are 2, product is 1. So 2 reactants combine to give a single product. Therefore, this reaction is a combination reaction. So this is the answer for question number 22. Now the B sub question from this is, list out the observations that helps to determine that a chemical reaction has been taken place. So see, this is the question which is from the textbook. If you read the textbook, you will understand this is the question from first page of this chemical reactions and equation chapter. So see here, answer, what you have to explain here, what you have to give the, what is the exact question? The question they are asking, whenever chemical reaction takes place, what are the observations during these chemical reactions? So see here, to determine that a chemical reaction has taken place, we can observe one or more following changes. So here I have listed out all the changes. From these all, one or the two changes takes place whenever any chemical reaction takes place. So see, the first one we will see, change in color. The color of the substance changes after the reaction. So if you mix any two chemicals and if you can see there is a change in the color, then you can say that chemical reaction has been taken place. Second observation is evolution of gas. A gas is released, like it will be released in the form of bubbling, fizzing or effervescence. Then also you can say that the reaction has been taken place. Then the third observation is formation of precipitate. Precipitate means the solid insoluble substance. So if you mix two chemicals and in those two chemicals there is no solid substance, and after mixing if you are getting a solid insoluble substance, then you can say that the precipitate has been formed and reaction has been taken place. So what you have to write here? An insoluble solid is formed when two solutions are mixed. For these all you have examples in your NCERT book. Here I have not given any example because it is not asked in this question. Only a theoretical part I have given. So the fourth observation is change in the temperature. Heat is either released or absorbed. The reaction mixture becomes hot or cold. So when you mix any two chemicals, if the heat is released, then the surrounding atmosphere or the apparatus in which you are doing the experiment, it will get hot. Or sometimes after mixing two chemicals, it will absorb the surrounding heat and the apparatus becomes cold. So it is nothing but what? Change in the temperature. So if you see change in the temperature, then also we can say that chemical reaction has been taken place. Then the next one is change in the state. the state of a matter changes. What are the states we have? We have solid, liquid, gas, etc. So if by mixing two chemicals, if you see the change in the state, it may change from solid to liquid, or it may change from liquid to gas, or it may change from gas to liquid, or gas to solid. Then also we can say that chemical reaction has been taken place. And the next one, sixth one, that is emission of light, means formation of light. Light is produced during the chemical reaction. For example, burning of magnesium wire. Just now I have explained here. Whenever we burn the magnesium wire, magnesium combines with the oxygen. It gives a dazzling white flame. That dazzling white flame means what? Emission of light. And whenever such kind of reaction takes place, you can see here, Mg plus O2 will give MgO. So we were having magnesium, pure magnesium, but when it combines with this oxygen, it becomes magnesium oxide. This is one of the different compound you are getting. So we can say that chemical reaction has been taken place. So here I have mentioned 6 observations, but it is not compulsory that all 6 observations should be observed in a reactions. So as that's why I have given here one or more the following changes takes place. Sometimes color will change, or sometimes the temperature will change with the state also. So this is the answer for this sub question B from this question number 22. Now we'll see the next question. Now we will see the OR option from the same question, that is question number 22. This is also again divided into A and B sub question. We'll see A first. Chemical equation have to be balanced. Why? We have to explain. So this is also a question from our NCERT book. So remember, always after finishing a chapter, once you finish all the question answer from the NCERT book, you have to read a whole chapter, because in between the chapter also question can be asked like this. So here we have to tell why the chemical reaction should be balanced. So the answer is, chemical equations have to be balanced because of the law of conservation of mass. So the reason is law of conservation of mass. And what the law says, according to the law of conservation of mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. See here, whenever you have any chemical, that chemical, if it reacts to give some another compound, for example, if A plus B is going to react, if it is giving C plus D, the number of molecules, atoms present on reactant side, number of atoms present on this LHS side should be always equal to the number of products present on the RHS side. It may be a gas, it may be in the gaseous state, it may be in the liquid state, or it may be in a solid state. But remember, the number of atoms on the LHS side and RHS side must be equal, and this is only called as law of mass of conservation. So the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side must be equal to the number of atoms on the product side. And if it is not equal, you have to balance the reaction, then only the reaction will be complete. For example, if you ask me, just now we have seen magnesium when combines with oxygen, it will give magnesium oxide. We will write MgO. This is the reactant side and this is the product side. Now calculate the number of atoms in the element. How many magnesium we have? Magnesium we have 1. How many this side we have? We have here 1. We have to just calculate the coefficients. If we see oxygen, how many oxygen we have? 2. But this side oxygen is only 1. So it is not balanced. You have to balance it by using integers. So if you write it here 2, then Mg will become 2, and with Mg oxygen will also become 2. So the number can change like this, 2 and 2. But what about this side? This side, oxygen has been balanced properly. You can see this 2, 2. But what about magnesium? It is not balanced. And that's why we can write here 2 number. Now this Mg also becomes 2 and 2, 2 will also get balanced. Such type of reaction is called as balanced reaction. So this is the correct reaction according to law of mass of conservation. So this is the example which I told you, but in this question they have not asked any example. Just you have to give the reason, and the reason is this which I have written here. Now we'll see the next question, that is B sub question. Mention the measures that are followed to prevent rusting of iron. So here we have to write the steps which are used to avoid the rusting of iron. What do you mean by rusting? Rusting is also called as corrosion. Corrosion is a general term actually, but if this corrosion takes place in case of iron, it is called as rusting. So how to prevent it, that we have to write here. Now see, the following measures are used to prevent rusting of iron. First, I will tell you why the rusting takes place. Imagine if this is the application made up of iron, or this is the machine or the object which is made up of iron atoms, then this iron atoms, when it combined with oxygen present in the air, or water vapors present in the air, or acidic particles present in the air, then the surface iron atoms combine with oxygen, water vapors, acidic, and this will form a oxide. That is, it may be a Fe2O3 or it may be Fe3O4. So like this oxide it forms, and due to this oxide formation, the iron atoms which are reacting will get destroyed. And this is nothing but called as rusting. So to prevent this rusting, what you have to do? We have to avoid the contact between this iron and this oxygen, water vapor and acidic materials. Nothing but the air. The contact between the iron and the air, if you avoid, rusting will be avoided. Now we will see how to avoid this contact. So the first method is painting. Paint forms a protective layer and prevents air and moisture from reaching iron. Very simple method which is commonly used. If this is the machine made up of iron, and here if there is air, then to prevent this contact, this whole machine will be painted with the paint. Once you paint it, now you can see this is the paint which is present. Iron is inside, iron and air is outside. So air cannot directly contact the iron, therefore iron will be safe. Second one is oiling or greasing. This also works with the same way. So just in place of paint, you have to do the oiling or the greasing process. So this oil or grease coats the iron surface and protects it from air or water. So in earlier days, this method used to be used, but nowadays also in some of the application oiling, greasing method will be used. But mainly commonly used method is painting. Now the next is galvanization. So painting and oiling, these methods, these can be used for less duration. After some days, paint can be removed from that machine. Oil, grease also can be removed, but galvanization will remain for more time. So what is galvanization? Iron is coated with a layer of zinc which prevent rusting. Means coating of one metal with another metal. That is called as galvanization. But in case of galvanization, always remember iron will be coated with zinc. So here what happens? See here, let me clear this page. If this is the iron or the machine which is made up of iron, and on this iron we are going to coat a zinc like this. So imagine this is the coating of zinc. Now, this is called as galvanization. So, in this case, what happens? With the oxygen, zinc will come in contact and zinc undergoes corrosion to form zinc oxide. But the iron which is present inside, this iron will remain safe. It will not undergoes any corrosion. But because of continuous rusting of this zinc which is present outside, if from somewhere, if it get opens, imagine this is the portion of zinc undergone corrosion, and from this position, if the iron is coming in contact with the oxygen, then also if you compare the reactivity, zinc is more reactive, and therefore till we have this complete zinc coating, iron will be safe. Once this whole zinc will get rusted, then the air will go and attack iron. Till this zinc is there around this iron, our iron will be safe inside. Remember, that is the advantage of this galvanization. Now the next is electroplating. Electro means what? Current. Plating means coating of a metal. So here we are going to coat one metal on the another metal, but by using electricity. So it is called as electroplating. So compared to galvanization, this will remain for more duration. So this has more advantages compared to galvanization. Iron is coated with a metal like chromium or nickel to prevent rusting. Next one is alloying. What is alloy? It is a mixture of two or more pure metals or non-metals. So depending on the capacity of undergoing corrosion, we can mix our metal with another metal. In case of iron, it is mixed with the other metals like chromium, and we can prepare stainless steel because chromium has the less property to undergo corrosion, And if we mix this chromium into this iron, the property of the whole alloy will decrease of undergoing corrosion, and therefore it resists rusting. So these are the some of the methods which will be used to prevent rusting in case of iron. Here I have given all the methods. Depending on the question you can use. Now this is a 3 mark question. At least 3 methods you have to write. So whichever you feel easy you can write, such as painting, oiling and alloying. These three are very simple to remember, and galvanization and electroplating also you remember, but whichever you feel correct to write for that question, you can write in the exam. So this is the answer for this sub question B. After this, we will move to the next question. So now we are going to start with question number 23. Draw the diagram to show the reaction of the zinc granules with dilute sulphuric acid and testing hydrogen gas by burning. Label the following parts. So here the question, we have to draw the diagram by showing this all the activity, and we have to label zinc granules and delivery tube. So this is the diagram which you have to draw here. It is from your NCERT book from the chapter acids, bases and salts, that is chapter number 2, and it is present on page number 19. So it is present on page number 19. The same diagram I have taken here. You can see in the diagram, here there is a stand. Let me draw that stand. So this is the stand here, you can see. Then this is the test tube labeled here. Dilute sulfuric acid is here and zinc granules are here. Once you mix dilute sulfuric acid and zinc granules, it forms hydrogen gas. That hydrogen gas will be passed from this delivery tube. You can see here, there is a delivery tube. That gas, when comes into this soap solution, it comes out in the form of bubbles. So these are the soap bubbles filled with which gas? Hydrogen gas. And to confirm that this is the hydrogen gas, we are going to take the candle, burning candle near these bubbles. If there is a hydrogen gas, it will make a pop sound, burning of hydrogen gas with pop sound. So these are the labelings which will be done in this diagram. Here they have asked two, zinc granules and delivery tube. Then you have to label this, which is here, zinc granule, and delivery tube is here. But it is not fixed that these two only will be asked in the exams. So depending on the examiner, they may ask any other labeling also. So whenever you practice, remember to practice with all the labeling. Therefore, I have taken this diagram from the NCERT book. After this, we are going to move with the next question. Now we will start with question number 24, which is again divided into sub-question A and B. So first we will start with A. Show the formation of magnesium chloride molecule by electron transfer. So here we have to show the formation of magnesium chloride, that is MgCl2, and this is formed by the transfer of electron. So see here, see the answer. I have divided this into the steps. So step number 1. First, magnesium atom loses electron. As magnesium is a metal which is electropositive, it will lose 2 electrons. Why it will lose 2 electrons? Because we all know magnesium atomic number is 12. And if you see the electronic distribution into the shell, K will take 2 electron, L will take 8 electron, and the M will take 2 electron. So this M is the last shell in case of magnesium. So in this magnesium, this 2 is the valency electrons. So what happens here? Magnesium will lose this 2 electron, so that L will become a last shell which has already 8 electron, and it will attain a stability. Therefore, now you see the answers. Magnesium is a metal with 2 electrons in its outermost shell. It loses 2 electrons to achieve stable configuration like neon. So once these 2 electrons are lost by magnesium, then the total electrons will remain, it is 10. And 10 is the atomic number of which element? It is of neon. And neon is a stable element. So attain this configuration, magnesium will lose 2 electrons. This can be shown by this reaction. Mg will become Mg plus 2. This should be written like this. I am writing once again here. See, Mg will become Mg2 plus, and 2 electrons will be liberated out. So see here, 2 electrons will be last. Now magnesium becomes cation, that is Mg plus 2. Now why it become a cation? Because once it loses 2 electrons, the number of protons will be more compared to number of electrons. Therefore, because number of protons are 12, Protons will remain 12, but electrons becomes 10. So here if you see, positive charge is more. Protons will be always positive, electrons will be negative. Because here protons are 12, the positive charge increase and therefore magnesium will become Mg2 plus. Now what about chlorine? Second step, chlorine atom gains electrons. So chlorine will take electrons. Now why chlorine will take electrons? See here, chlorine atomic number is 17. Now if you see the electronic distribution in the shells, it will be 2, 8 and 7. So last shell is M shell which has 7 electrons. So to attain the stable electronic configuration, it requires another 1 electron. If it takes 1 electron, it becomes 8 and it will attain a octet electronic configuration. Therefore, chlorine atom gains electron. Now see, chlorine, that is Cl, is a non-metal with 7 electrons in the outermost shell. Just now I have explained. It gains 1 electron to attain complete its octet. Now how it can be shown with the help of reaction? See here, Cl plus, this is the E minus means 1 electron. If you want to write 2 electrons, it will be written 2e minus. Once you take that electron, the Cl will get a negative charge. Now you can understand why it get a negative charge. Cl was having 7 protons, that is 7 positive charges, and 17 electrons, that is 17 negative charges. So once it take one another extra electron, the electrons will become how many? 18. And if you now compare with the positive, that is proton, electrons are more. Therefore, Cl will get a negative charge. We can write Cl plus electron will get Cl raised to minus. So this is the reaction. Since magnesium lost 2 electrons, 2 chlorine atoms are needed to take them. See here what happens. Magnesium is losing how many electrons? 2 electrons. Cl is taking how many electrons? 1 electron. So to take these both the electron, how many Cl we have to take? We have to take 2 chlorine ions, chlorine atoms. Therefore, the reaction can be shown like this. So here what I have done? 2 Cl plus 2 electrons. It becomes 2 Cl minus. So here I'll write it once again. 2 Cl plus 2 electron becomes 2 Cl minus. So from magnesium, both the electrons are gained by 2 chlorine atoms. Now, cation and anion both are ready. Mg plus 2 is a cation, Cl minus is an anion. Now both has to be combined. So the next step, formation of ionic bond. The positively charged Mg plus 2 ion and negatively charged Cl minus ions attract each other by electrostatic force. Always, as we all know, opposite charges attract. So Mg plus 2 is positive, Cl minus is negative. Both will attract each other by a force called electrostatic force and forms MgCl2, which can be shown by this reaction. Or it can be also shown by electron transfer diagram, which I will be driving now here. So see here, I'll draw the diagram. So I'll write here Mg2 plus we have, like this we will write, or we can write the electrons here. See here, let me draw first electrons. So how many electrons? 2 electrons Mg is going to lose, plus these 2 electrons will be gained by 2 Cl. Therefore I'll write it here 1 and here I'll write another Cl. Now Cl is having how many valence electrons? 7. So I'll make a cross mark to just differentiate the electrons of Cl and Mg. See, these are the 7 electrons of this Cl and the 7 valency electrons of this Cl that I'm going to write here. Now see, if you see in these both, here one more electron is required, here also one more electron is required. So now what happens? This electron of Mg goes here, this electron of Mg will go here. So what this indicates? Mg is losing 2 electrons and 2 Cls are taking those 2 electrons. Now what it becomes? So we will write it here. Mg will become Mg2 plus. See, I'll write it here. Mg2 plus because it has lost 2 electrons. What about Cl? Cl, I will combine and write. See like this, both the Cl, because it is 2, so I wrote it here 2. Now, these are the 7 electrons of Cl and it has taken 1 electron from magnesium, so it is here. Like this it will combine, and once it both get combined, it forms MgCl2. This is the electron transfer diagram for MgCl2. So here in the question they had asked, show the formation of magnesium chloride molecule by transfer of electron. So this is the complete answer where I am showing the transfer of electron and formation of magnesium chloride. I hope you understood this answer. Now we are going to move to the next question. Now it is a sub question B. The question is aluminium oxide is called amphoteric oxide. Why? So what do you mean by amphoteric oxide first? Amphoteric oxide means the oxide which behaves as both acid as well as base. Such oxides are called amphoteric oxide. Actually, we all know metal oxides behaves as basic oxides and non-metal oxides behaves as acidic oxide. So let me write it here. I'll write metal oxides will behave as basic oxide. Basic oxide, or we can write basic in nature. And non-metal oxides will behave as acidic oxide. See here. But there are some oxide which behaves as both acidic as well as basics, and such oxides are called as amphoteric oxide. And in that, one of the oxide is aluminium oxide. So here I have explained the answer. Aluminium oxide Al2O3 is called amphoteric oxide because it can react with both acid as well as base. When it reacts with acid, it will act as basic. When it reacts with bases, it will act as acidic. So here I have given both the reaction. First, the reaction with acid. Aluminium oxide reacts with hydrochloric acid and forms salt and water. Now see here, Al2O3 plus HCl, hydrochloric acid, it gives aluminium chloride, this is salt. And this is what? Water. And we all know salt plus water, this product, when we will get? If the reactants are acid plus base. If you combine acid as base, then only we are going to get salt and water. So here we have got salt and water. If you see the reactant, this is already an acid because it is hydrochloric acid. Then what it should be? It should be base. So it is basic in nature. In the second reaction, if you see reaction with the base, aluminium oxide reacts with sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, to form a complex salt and water. So here this is Al2O3, NaOH. What is NaOH? It is a base. And what you are getting? Water. And let me correct the reaction. Here there should be arrow and here it should be plus sign. So these all product and here these two are reactant. So if you want, I'll write the reaction once again. See here, don't get confused because reactions are very important. Al2O3 plus 2NaOH will give 2NaAlOH4 and water. So this is water. This is the correct reaction. So here this is called as salt and the name is sodium aluminate. It is a complex salt. So let me write it here. Complex salt. And what about this? This is the water. So we are getting salt and water. And as I told, this is already a base, sodium hydroxide. We all know. Then what it should be? It should act as acid. So same compound, that is Al2O3, here it is acting as acid, here it is acting as base, means what? It is a amphoteric oxide. So this is the answer for this sub question B. I hope you understood the explanation which I have given with all the equations. So here I have completed all 3 marks question from part B chemistry for the model question paper 3 2025-26. I hope these all the videos will help you to write your final exam. If you like my videos, subscribe my channel to get motivated and to prepare more videos for you all. Thank you so much.